Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Evil Bank Manager, sponsored by Hamsters Gaming. Before we continue this campaign, there has been a significant update that we need to highlight because it rather substantially changes the balance of the game. Science is a thing now. There are a lot of technologies that you are able to research, and each one of them gives some various different perks to your bank. For example, military propaganda right here. All of your countries that are involved in a war get 15,000 gold as support. So you just are much better at winning wars passively without having to be a direct participant at all. Helping the king reduces the country's political skills cooldown time by 10%. When selling cocoa on the market, get extra profit. Complete 2 random tasks in the Federal Reserve System. There's a lot of really cool stuff that you can get here, including some technologies that allow you to buy more than one investment per turn, which is a huge change to the bottlenecks of the game. You could find 20 properties, but only buy 1 per turn. Science now is able to change that. Lots of potential here. How do you do science? Well, you need science points. Managers produce your science points. I believe the math works out that every manager by default gives you 25 base science, and then +1 for every stat. So no longer is it as advantageous to find a manager who's only good at one department, like debts or guard duty or whatever. Now someone with a lot of balanced stats, lots of points around, can be pretty good for extra science production. Maybe that's worth picking up. Changes the balance there a little bit. Also means that you want to be getting as many managers as possible, which is going to change your costs up quite a bit. So a lot of big changes there. But hopefully, all the perks of science end up being worth it. For example, every open region produces 150 gold per turn. Like, what? That seems really good, especially if you're in a nation like Brittany now, which is quite large, and has a whole bunch of open regions. I have to imagine that's really, really good for me, so let's go ahead and research that to start. Seems nice enough. Let's see. There's also a couple other features that I don't know when they were added to the game. They may have always been here, but I've only recently discovered them, and they actually are kind of important. For example, under the guard duty. Now, in the past, I have said I don't think there's a lot of use for fear, right? Because the only use I knew of for debts, or fear, was to collect on overdue debts from your credit department. But it only happened like once every like 15, 20 turns or something like that. No, there's actually another really important use for fear, and that's with mercenaries right here. So with mercenaries, you can spend fear to get some other perk. For example, extra political influence for diplomacy. That's not bad. Or perhaps seize various different resources. That's not bad. Or, best of all, use your fear against other competitors, other competing banks, and just hurt them in some way. So the Unia Bank, for example, is sitting on about 500,000 gold. If I spent some fear, I could just make 38,776 gold just disappear. Boom! That seems pretty strong. I am going to go ahead and grab all that extra grain. That seems pretty nice. Yeah, that's a really good use for fear. And then you do that in conjunction with science, where there is a technology somewhere in here that guarantees your #1 bank competitor in the statistics here is always an option for your mercenaries. With that, you should always be able, every turn, to just pound someone into the ground and just make them go bankrupt. Theoretically, you might be able to spend enough fear to just make them go bankrupt outright. That's pretty darn strong. So there's a lot about fear that I have been missing out on, but now we're going to make use of it. The other thing that I was looking for and couldn't find before is investing in a region right here. Now, we already learned how with diplomacy you can upgrade the modifiers for a region: agriculture, real estate, industry. But there's also the ability to invest in a region directly. So for example, if I go to Brittany, and maybe just Brittany proper, for example, right here, the maximum investment in this region right now is 40,000. I'm actually a bit over that because my investments have accrued a lot of value. So my investments are 49,000, but we can't invest anything else in Brittany because we've reached our maximum investment. If I open this up, though, and invested, let's say, 6,400 gold here, my maximum investment in this region goes up, and new investment opportunities become available. So earlier in the game, when I didn't have any extra building slots available, I was kind of at my peak, that would have been a good opportunity to invest in the region, given an economic stimulus, and get some extra investments before going to war. Didn't realize that was a thing, but now I know. So, let's play a bit more with science. Now, here's one bug that I've noticed right off the bat. If you resume a game after this last update, all of your advisors only give you 25 science points, just the base. It does not include any of their stats. So that's unfortunate. In theory, this might mean that we need to just fire all of my managers and get new ones over time. and we probably will. But for now, at the very least, we'll keep them. Let's find a new expert, and I'll show you how this works. 23 guard duty is pretty good. I'm okay with that. But notice that he generates 82 science points. That's pretty nice. Let's go ahead and put him over here. We'll generate an extra 460 fear per turn. If I can generate like 4,000 fear per turn, I should be able to harass the crud out of my opponents, which sounds pretty fun to me. Let's go ahead and upgrade some of my headquarters because I've neglected some of this stuff. Didn't think it was as important as it was. Guard duty, for example, apparently very important. Move on to the next turn, sell some of our goods. And, of course, we're at war with England again because, you know, reasons. Because they're a glutton for punishment at this point. I don't know. Let's sell off a few weapons. Not that Brittany really needs my help at this point, but, I mean, is it going to hurt anything? Nah, probably not. Let's see. Invest some more in the headquarters here. Invest here. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my farms, my luxury goods, and my real estate, and my armory. Getting a little sick from flying around like this. Jeez, barf. Ugh. All right, new investments. Nothing really substantial here, but I'll go ahead and pick up an extra farm. A few more loan opportunities at high interest rates seem okay to me. We'll probably have to collect on that debt later. And then let's just go ahead and invest a lot of money in, let's say, the Red Shield Bank. So we'll get 2.9% interest out of them for a while. Seems good enough to me. Yeah, I'm really excited about the science mechanic added into the game. That seems really powerful, though. Like, let me give you another example. Resistance is futile. Generate 1,000 extra work per turn. I mean, that seems extremely strong. Like, right now, our headquarters is producing 3,000. So, with a very early level science, I can increase it by 1/3. Can you imagine how strong that is at the beginning of the game? It actually might be a little bit too strong. I'm not sure. But I'm very eager to see how it is going to play out in the long run. Let's find some more advisors. 32 for investments. You're hired. And that's an extra 91 science points, and now we're up to 449. But of course, keep in mind, my costs are going up rather substantially. So you need to have a really good financial infrastructure still if you want to make this work. By the way, something that has also changed, very little feature, the letters have changed around. It used to be that S was your espionage, and it stood for spy. But now that you have science, the S is for science and D is for diplomacy. So they've changed that around a little bit. I think I saw some people in Steam get confused by that. It's pretty easy to pick up on, though. Oh, that's a lot of money that we're sitting on right now. Okay, we should probably go ahead and spend some of that. I'll buy some extra cottages, because Lord knows I like having extra cash flow. These are some pretty good interest rates. Even if they do default on the debt, that seems like a good investment to me. I don't think we need to invest any more in these wars. We're going to be fine there. No one to invest in. Oh, that makes me sad. Okay, so let's test out this whole investing in a region thing. So, for example, if I go to the map, to Brittany proper. So, max investments, 40,800. My current investments are way more than that. I cannot invest anymore in Brittany. Just not an option. But if I go to the capital and say that I want to... Whoops, there we go. Invest in a region. Brittany. Invest the full amount. Whoa, 11,000. Oh, interesting. So this is where having the extra investment advisors comes into play. Because they allow you to have your maximum investment increase by this. This is tied directly to my managers. Now I know where that number's going. I'm learning things here. All right, so let's confirm that. That increases my maximum investment in Brittany by a substantial margin, and apparently it automatically finds me some new property. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the cottage because I'd rather just have cash flow instead. But now if I go to Brittany, yeah, max investments is 108,000. So we actually can invest a lot more in an almost perfect 2020 province. That seems pretty darn good, doesn't it? Let's see. We're going to go ahead and invest in agriculture in Brittany. Let's go ahead and max that out there. I mean, yeah, if you can max out provinces at 2020, then you should be investing in those provinces. Give them as much economic stimulus as possible. And then just rake in the tons of extra really good investments. I mean, why not, right? All right, we'll spend some money doing that as well. Growth and infrastructure in Ligor. All right, sure, let's do something there. A little bit in these areas. Just kind of balance it out. Perfect. Spend some money. Okay. I like how that turned out quite a bit. Sell some civilian goods. Go back to the world map. I'm going to go ahead and sell a few extra weapons because I have plenty at the moment. Where am I going to find gunpowder? That is a thing that does exist. And I've found it before, but I'm not sure where it is right now. Well, I want to start making muskets. That's what I want to do. Looks like we took Calais off of England in that war, and we did take Catalonia off of Aragon. I imagine we're going to end up going to war with France pretty soon, and we could certainly encourage Brittany to go to war with somebody else, like, I don't know, Nevers, try to grab Eastern Burgundy, which is a very good region. In fact, can I just go ahead and do that right now? I mean, why not? Let's see. Oh, no, we can't for another 14 moves or so. Darn. Well, I'm stacking up on the influence. Maybe at some point we should look at investing in another country. Let's upgrade my headquarters, get up to level 8, upgrade all the other things, like so. De-doop, de-doop, de-doop. Do I want to invest in everything else? I mean, why not? Let's just go ahead and spend the money, get a fully maxed out HQ with all the capacity possible. There are probably more important uses for my money, but we'll do it. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and hire up some more managers for extra science. Find a new expert. What do I want? 49? Oh my god! You're really good at credits. You're like an actual literal prodigy. Amazing. Okay, well, that's a lot of extra science, speaking of which. Now, I have no idea how to tell if this actually works, because I don't think that there's a ledger that tells me how much money I am getting out of my science, or just regions in general. As far as I can tell, that's not a thing. So, I'm just assuming that this is working. We're going to reduce my manager's salaries a little bit. In fact, we're going to work our way all the way to embezzlement, which will ultimately reduce it by a total of 16%. More investments in property are available. Also, when selling coffee, we get an extra 10%. Now, I don't know what rank points are good for. So I know that rank points are apparently currently at 167. Is that something in statistics? No. So there's something about rank points, and I'm not sure how they feature into the game. That's something I have not been privy to thus far. It's probably important, but it's not spelled out for me. Let's collect on a debt, get a little bit of extra money that way. Pretty good interest rate there. Everything else is kind of garbage. More investments. I will go for the extra fur manufacturing works, and then move on to the next turn. An IMF investment. I currently have the least amount of gold sitting in the bank, but that really is just an indication to me that the AI has some work to do. Like, the AI should not be sitting on gold like this. It's just dumb. There's no good reason to sit on that much money. Sell off a little bit of extra weapons. I'm going to invest some gold, 30,000, get an extra sculpting school. That's a word. Cool, why not? Yeah, I like that idea. 3,000 extra bows. Do we need the extra work from our science? Not really. I mean, that doesn't seem that helpful to me. Become the Federal Reserve System. Back in the day, the country always owned a printing press that prints money. Which is not entirely true. Paper currency and fiat currency is a relatively new invention in human history, in the grand scheme of things, but before it was just the mint. Anyway, but over time, the largest countries transferred the right to print their money to private companies. Whoever receives this right will provide his bank with the leading positions for the next century. Become a world leader. Become the Federal Reserve System. That is a method of winning the game. Let's sell some civilian goods. Apparently, Brittany did indeed start a war over France. We'll sell them a few extra weapons like so. Thank you. And let's go to the capital and actually buy out the Federal Reserve System. So it costs 100,000 gold to get started, and it doesn't produce anything really at all, as far as I've been able to tell. But if we are able to continue investing a lot of money in our reserve system, we will be able to get to a victory condition, capture of the economy. But it's really pricey. I mean, 500,000 gold right there. Thousands, tens of thousands of various different resources to get, let's say, power of the crowd. The fatal route. Like, there's a lot of stuff that you need. 93,000 influence? Holy crud. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you need to do if you want to become a Federal Reserve. We might try to go for a victory condition that way. If I can, I certainly would like to. But, oof. Not cheap. Not cheap at all. Go for a few extra fur producers, I guess. Creditors. Good interest rates on those. The rest I'll hold on to. 85,000. We need to keep investing in other banks, because they have some of the best interest rates overall. So maybe another bunch of money there. Sell some civilian goods. Go to the investments again. I'm really looking forward to being able to buy more than one investment at a time. I mean, that seems really good to me. I'm actually going to go for the Stonecutters camp because I'm using a lot of stone right now to upgrade my, my headquarters. And saving money on the stone seems like a pretty good idea to me. Let's hire another expert. 33 in diplomacy seems pretty nice, and really good stats across the board, so you're going to make me a lot of science. I like that. I really need to start firing some of these guys, but they don't have a lot of salary, so as I get capped out on staff, we're going to start firing people. But yeah, my costs, of course, are going up quite a bit, but that should change because we're about to see our science affect the manager's salaries, right? So let's see. Does that change? It doesn't seem to have changed anything. 1,452. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't? I'm not sure. Okay, what do we want to go for next? Silence is golden. More properties of the type industry by 30. That's an entire HQ upgrade right there. Increase my gold by 50%. Like what? The gold that I'm sitting on right now? Well, maybe I should just stockpile some gold and then research this. Each open region produces 250 more gold per turn. Investing in loyalty, the gift of speech. Receive 3% in the International Monetary Fund. Reduce the country's political skills cooldown time by 10%. Seems like a lot of really cool stuff here. Fear per turn doesn't seem like a bad idea. We are sitting on a lot of gold at the moment. Do I want to make some more investments? Sure. I will invest everything in you. Get an extra chunk. Because what I'm going to end up doing, instead of doing this, what we're going to do is go for painful points, right? So that should be done in 3 turns, and stockpile as much money as possible, and let's see how much we actually get out of this. By the time we're done with that technology, we should get our investment back of 150,000 gold. The competitor bank did not return the loan, so he's immediately gone. Well, bye-bye. Thank you for playing. 2 turns with Berkeley's. I don't know what order things process, so maybe we don't do that at the moment. That seems pretty good. Sure. I'll go ahead and do both. Why not? All right, that seems fine. More investments. Pretty good stonecutters, pretty good farms. I'm definitely more preferring of the stonecutters rather than farms, so let's not worry about that. Next turn. According to rumors, the minimum value has gone up. Now we have 400,000 gold that we're sitting on right now. Seems like a lot, don't it? Let's go ahead and sell off a few more resources there. Sooner or later, England's going to declare war on me again. We all know it's going to happen. I'm going to hold on to my money, and let's just see if I actually do get, I don't know, 600,000 gold by next turn. There it is! Wow. Wow! All right, that's 50% extra gold. Just straight up free money. I love it. Let's see. 3% of the IMF. All countries involved in my wars get extra support. Seems pretty good. Building headquarters again. When selling on the market sugar, one of the 3 tasks for... There it is. One of the 3 tasks for mercenaries is always against the richest competitor. So we'll always be able to spend my fear to harass whoever's right behind me in second place. That's pretty interesting. I'm going to go for the fear per turn, which actually I think we just got for free? No, we did not. Okay, never mind. Let's go back to the managers. Let's see if we can find some really good guards, because I need more fear. Well, 36 in diplomacy seems pretty nice, though. I'm going to go ahead and pick you up. In espionage, sorry, dude, Martin Wood, you're terrible. You need to go. We're going to get rid of you and instead get this guy. Let's find another one. 43 in loans is pretty darn good. Let's fire this guy and get in a new one. 35 for guard duty is acceptable to me, plus a lot of extra science points, so that's kind of nice. What are we generating? 1,000 now. Doesn't seem all that bad. Let's go ahead and invest pretty heavily in some other banks. 9 turns? Sure, I'll take all of it. 10 turns? All of that. Maybe I don't want to do... Maybe I don't want to put everything in one basket, though, in 10 turns. I want to have some money kind of staggering a little bit. We'll put some over here, put some over here. There we go. Okay, that's a lot of money that we're investing in other banks, but now at like turn 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, we should get a huge extra influx of cash. I like that idea. 5%, 7, I mean, some of these credits are really good now. These extra loan guys is working out really well for me. Let's see. Stone production seems fine. Let's get some civilian goods sold. That's a lot of extra civilian goods. Okay, do I want to invest even further in other banks? Sure, let's run them all out of business. Berkeley's? Have all my money. Next turn. Okay. Can I now force some extra wars? Not in 5 moods with Brittany, but with Ligor I can. So let's fight over, I guess, Malacca. Let's just take over the southern half of the world here. The most southernmost point. Declare a war. Yes, it's gotten more expensive, but I'm okay with that. You need weapons. Good news. I have weapons. Take. Invest gold. It's not a lot, but a little bit of extra furs, I suppose, is okay. Good. So we should be able to win that. What is Malacca even producing? It's not even that good of a province, but it does produce some porcelain and some hides. You'd think they would produce, like, sugar or something, but instead I've occasionally seen sugar in, like, Ireland, which seems a little bit odd, because that's not where I think of sugar being produced, but there you go. 100 power per turn. I don't know what that means. We actually had enough science sitting in production that we could just click the button and it instantly researched. Rank points? I guess I can get 70 rank points. Again, I'm not really solid on what that does. Countries, no. War, no. Statistics? I see no evidence of any of that. I have no idea what it means. Whatever. Anyway. Okay, let's continue investing in other banks. This is hilarious because ideally, right, if you want to become really wealthy in a capitalist system, all right, a little bit of advice here. If you want to become really wealthy in a capitalist system, what you want, effectively, is to have as many people owe you something as possible, right? Have as many people indebted to you as possible, and you will become filthy, stinking rich. We're now in a stage where we are lending to the lenders, which means I am phenomenally wealthy. Oh, look at all the competing banks just sitting here in Aragon. You're funny. I'm going to sell stuff and invest some money. There we go. Get an extra house. Even with all your help, you're pathetic. You can't beat me. I can't be beat! Brittany is invincible! Under my leadership. Who would have thought? There are also some technologies, I think, in science that do allow you to get, like, some revolutions in your target country. Like, I think your host country, I think I saw something about this in the Steam update page. Since we started in Austria, I think there's a technology that starts a revolution in Austria and damages everyone else's property or something. I don't know, it's something along those lines. If we find it, we'll read up on it. Let's go for some extra money from the Gift of Speech. See if that actually does anything for me. Any more investments that I care to make? Sure, I will invest in you. Done. Next turn. Send guards to collect the debts. Ah, yes, one of my favorite things to do. We can take a really good farm. Dunskies. Good interest there. Heck yeah. And let's actually go to the mercenaries and do something, because I haven't done anything with them in a while. We could steal some wood. Silver. I will... Well, silver's really expensive, apparently. What about against my competitors, though? So, for example, is the Trinity Bank my next hire? No, we haven't got that technology yet. Never mind. Well, do I want to rob some money from somebody? We can't do anything against them. Why does it say 0? But if I spend 4,000, we can rob 38,000 away from the Unia Bank. It seems okay. I think I'd rather store up my fear, and once I can choose which competitor I've got, because I have that technology, just run them into bankruptcy. You literally can do that. I don't need any of this stuff. I'm just going to stockpile my fear. Stockpile the fear. Build the terror. Let the terror grow. It makes perfect sense. Let's find someone better than that. 32 with pretty good stats across the board. You're not bad. Fire somebody else. 27, really good stats across the board. I'm going to go ahead and hire you. Let's get rid of, I guess you are the weakest link, so we're going to fire Julian and get you in here instead. That's a lot of extra science coming in. Look at those costs, though. Yeah, science changes the balance quite a bit. Receiver, no. Black Sheep, headquarters. I guess I will go for some extra IMF, because... why not? Oh, speaking of IMF, we might be able to buy another share if people will allow me to. I'll happily pick it up. I mean, it's only 3.6%, which is not that good. Maybe we actually let it get a lot cheaper first. 3.6% is not that important. All right, now I'll pick it up. 72,000 is not bad for 3.6%. Now it's like 8%. A war begins in Wessex. Oh, England. I almost feel bad for you, but not really. Hey, look! Harquebus. It's a gun thing. Wait, am I actually producing that now? Can I do that? Hang on, go to the capital. Am I producing? No, I am not producing the gunpowder or coal. Coal? Coal. But coal apparently is unlocked in the game as of turn 100, so that's something we ought to be looking for. There's some coal right there. A coal mine in Brittany. I'll pick it up. Sure. That sounds great. These are pretty good loans available to me like so. Invest in somebody else. Let's go for the quick turnaround. Just invest like, I don't know, this much. There we go. Just get a little extra cash. Send guards to collect in on a debt. All right. You owe me 31,000 gold. Gimme. Good interest, good interest. I got an achievement. Collector top 1. Haha. I've repossessed from so many poor people. Let's go for some extra skins. Sell some civilian goods. Looking good there. We could invest in our Federal Reserve if I wanted to, but I think instead I'm going to continue making long-term investments in other players. It's so good. If you keep stacking this up every turn, you make so much money. What's not to like, really? Need North Science. Hang on. Properties, saviors, rank points. Again, I'm not sure what that is. Now I have only 143 rank points. What does that mean? Produce a country running skills. Does this reduce my taxes? If that reduces my taxes, that's significant. Because taxes is actually a really major part of my costs right now. So I would definitely love to reduce that. And a competitor bank, the New Order Bank, did not return the loan. Fine by me, though. They have successfully been eliminated from the game. Goodbye. Suckers. Guards, someone has failed to pay the debts. Go collect. Thank you. That's pretty good profit per turn. I'll do that. Do we want to invest some more in, let's say, Brittany itself? Can I? Oh, I can only do it in 2 moves. Oh, there's a limit here. You can only do it so many times. Okay, good to know. Let's see. My investments are maxed out in, let's say, here. Let's go to this province. Invest. And it offers... Wow, there's a lot of stuff you can get in this particular province. 28,000 in tea? Sure, let's get a whole new luxury good. I probably should have gotten the coal. Didn't think about that. Brittany, I want you to start a war against, let's say, Nevers. Because I want Eastern Burgundy. It seems like a really good province. Thank you. Apparently, Brittany still can't handle the HRE because the HRE is just that freaking good. But I don't care. I'm going to go ahead and just sell them all my weapons. And then invest a ton of gold. And by a ton, I mean a little bit. There we go. How are we looking down over here? You are doing A-okay. No problems. Still would love to see that quality of life improvement as far as being able to spend work on multiple projects at a time. Let's upgrade my headquarters the rest of the way, like so. I'll go ahead and upgrade the armory too, why not? And hire some more managers. Yeah, it increases my costs, but so far it's proven to be well worth it. We are going to go for 31 in loans is not bad, with really good stats across the board. I will hire... Oops, I hit the wrong button. Never mind. Diplomacy at 30. All right, seems good. Let's fire you. Bring you over. Yeah, the bug here of 25 is a little unfortunate, isn't it? 46? You're hired. Sorry, Victor. Get out. Let's find someone else. Nah, it's too balanced. 35. I want something else, though. That's pretty good across the board, and I could use some extra investment assistance here, especially to get rid of Norman Waller. But I have enough empty slots. We'll just go ahead and keep him for the moment. Okay, costs have gone up quite a bit. Got to be wary of that, but otherwise, not too bad. Let's invest another 100,000 there. I should get an immediate 2% return on investment there. 300,000 gold that I'm sitting on right now. Ba-frickin-da-boom. Extra cottages in the province that, by the way, we were already at the max. So you can see that now we can get more here, and it's going to be worth a ton of extra money. Yeah, this is going to be very interesting now that I know some more features in the game, and the science is pretty exciting. I'm really eager to see how out of control some of the science starts to get. But I think we'll have to wait on that until next time because we're kind of out of time for this particular video. So, again, next video, I think what I'm going to have to do is start skipping forward a little bit. Just because, again, I am contracted for 5 videos. I am not opposed to continuing if that's what people would like me to do afterwards. I don't think that they will be opposed to that. Hamsters Gaming will be happy with that, I'm sure. But I want to try to get some of the Federal Reserve System done before my 5 videos are officially done. So let me know in the comment section what you guys would like to see. And if I have to start jumping forward, I will do exactly that. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, then I ask that you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.